everyone, I'm Dawn. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for visiting with me today. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, The Cutting Board. We do all kinds of things here. We do true crime, we do commentary, SFX makeup, regular makeup. Sometimes I do shopping hauls, not so much because I'm trying to step away from that consumerism disease. What else? Food content, including cooking and taste test, and most importantly, at least to me, Disney content. So in this video, we are going to talk about Amberlynn Reid and the Rarity cat scandal, situation, whatever you want to call it. But first, I want to say, Amberlynn always comes on and says, so-and-so is lying, so-and-so is lying, so-and-so is lying, yet all of their information, Destiny, Cassie, or Casey, I'm not sure, Beck, I'm not sure what Cassie or Casey goes by, Beck, it's all been consistent. We haven't really heard from Crystal at all, and that'll probably never happen, and I respect that. And we've not heard from Jade, and that'll probably never happen either, and I also respect that. But we know Amberlynn is a nightmare to be associated with. We know that from just what we've been shown. And I trust what all her exes said. Not necessarily Valentine. So this is going to get a little hideous here. Valentine, excuse my language, is a piece of shit. And so is Valentine's wife. They are just as shitty, if not more shitty, than Amberlynn. Two shitty people. They wanted to troll her, and things went a way they didn't want it to go. At least Valentine's wife didn't want them to go. And I think that every word that came out of both of their mouths cannot be trusted because they are snakes. Because they are both shitty snake assholes. I can't stand those two. I can't, if that wasn't made clear. I can't stand them. They're assholes. They are freaking jokes. They are jokes. And Valentine's wife she's such a bitch. She's such a bitch. She's so full of shit. She said on, I believe it was Jordy's channel, I think it was Alive, that she said, I'm a therapist, and Amberlynn is the most toxic person I have ever seen, or something along those lines, but she did say she was a therapist. And I believe I have that clip somewhere still. It's old, but I can dig it up. She did say that. She did. No, she didn't specify what kind, but she implied mental health. She sure did. She sure did. She did. And you can't convince me otherwise. I heard it with my own two ears. So there. But then later on, I think it was her own live, she said, I never said I was a therapist. Yes, you did. You big dumb hick. She implied that she may not have said she was a mental health therapist, but she strongly implied it and did not correct herself. She did imply it. And she knew exactly what she was doing. That bitch knew exactly what she is doing. She is as manipulative, if not more, than Amberlynn. I don't trust that thing or Valentine, and there is nothing you can say to change my mind. So don't even try, because they're both snakes, they're both shitty people, and I have no use for them. Now, with that being said, let's get into this Rarity business. So I got my screenshots from Despectful's channel from that video, and I will try to remember to link it down below. I probably won't remember, and someone will have to remind me in the comments. I don't know if they're going to go up in this video or not, but just so you know where I got them, so you will know where to go look for them if you haven't seen them at all, if you haven't seen them already. And I will try to remember to link that video. I'm so bad at that, you guys. But first, I want to say, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't. I haven't watched every single solitary Amberlynn video in existence, especially in the last year or so, but it has always seemed to me like she really loves her pets, even though she has not been the most diligent and most warm and conscientious pet owner. If any of that makes sense to you. I don't know. But I do feel like she puts having a relationship ahead of everything else in her life, and that includes her pets. And we'll get more into that. We will get more into that. But just in my heart of hearts, I don't want to believe that she would do anything to harm Rarity. But, sometimes what we see speaks for itself. And then there's, that perception on social media. Perception, unfortunately, is reality, So Emily posted this, and in case I don't insert it, I'll read it to you. So this person comments that they think Emily's dog killed Rarity. I don't think that, personally. And Emily responds, "Don't blame my dog. He doesn't deserve that. He's the sweetest old boy and a big baby. Blame the person who lost her the day I told her to go back to Oklahoma." So there you have it. A lot to unpack with that short comment. A lot to unpack. First of all, before anything else, did Amberlynn invite herself to Emily's, or did Emily invite her, or did she overextend her invitation? I can totally see Amberlynn just assume she is always welcomed, and just, show up with all her pets. And why would she bring all her pets? That's ridiculous to me. That's ridiculous to do that. That is stress added to those animals, to like move them around like that. That is a lot of stress on an animal. My animals don't even like to leave my bedroom, much less the house. Except for Brian. He's up for anything. He's like, yeah, let's go. Let's do this. But the cats, And did she assume her pets would be welcome, or did she say, yeah, bring your pets? Like in a house where pets that are strangers to her pets already live? That's odd to me. Maybe I'm overthinking it. And did she spring this whole package on Emily? To me, the whole thing reeks of that controlling behavior that we've seen with Beck and have strongly suspected in all her other relationships, and just something we know of Amberlynn. I just feel like she expects everyone's lives to revolve around her and her wants. I feel like she kind of used her pets with Emily the way some people use their children. You know what I mean? As pawns in their own romantic entanglements. People use their children as pawns all the time, so it's no surprise that Amberlynn would use her pets. Okay, now back to Emily's comment. Lost in quotations. That's interesting. What happened to Rarity? Honestly, what happened to that poor cat? It's not a hate fixation, as Amberlynn says. It's not. It's people not being able to trust anything Amberlynn ever says, because she lies big, she lies small, and she's been caught in many, many, many of these lies. She doesn't tell the truth. She just doesn't. She lies about things that it's irrelevant. So even if she's telling the truth, can anyone blame people for not believing her? Seriously. And if she's such a pet lover, with her resources, why wasn't Rarity microchipped? She put herself and her feelings ahead of the lives of her pets for a romantic relationship that I guess was super one-sided since Emily told her to go home. And if Rarity mysteriously disappeared after Emily told her to go home, why? What was her thinking in that? Just to extend her visit? How desperate do you have to be to do something like that? To do something with your pet? To stay longer with someone that doesn't even want you there? You know what I'm saying? If someone asks you to leave their home, you just leave. Go. You don't try to manipulate the situation so that you can, you can stay longer. Talk about uncomfortable and weird. And Emily has a child too, right? Am I wrong about that? I'm pretty sure she has a child. And that's a different dynamic too. And which one is one that Amberlynn can't understand. And that could have created a weird household vibe to have a 550-pound toddler in a home with a child. I don't know. I don't know if her child lives with her or if it's shared custody or what the situation is. But suffice it to say, Emily has bigger priorities, and again, causes a different dynamic than Amberlynn is used to, and just bigger priorities than Amberlynn. And Amberlynn can't deal with that. She can't deal with not being the most important person there. She complains about this hate fixation, but she keeps going, which is fine. She can't do anything else. She has to make a living. I mean, she keeps going at YouTube. But Emily wanting her to go back to Oklahoma is not her audience's fault. Rarity missing is not her audience's fault. She'll blame her audience for everything. I'm sure she's blamed every breakup on all of her viewers. It's our fault, guys. It's our fault. It's us. We're the problem. I remember Twinkie being in pain and she went out to eat instead of taking Twinkie to a vet. And several creators found a 24-hour pet emergency room on the same street, close to the Chili's or the Applebee's, wherever it was she was going. It was either Chili's or Applebee's. But it was right there on the same street, close to that restaurant. But she left Twinkie home alone in pain. And I don't like to think Amberlynn would do something to Rarity, but, we've seen her not prioritize her pet. But she's not been the greatest pet owner in the world. And again, she has lied to her audience 1,000,000 times. Provable lies. I don't think we have a reason to not trust Emily. I haven't watched much of the Emily content because it bored me. Not that Emily bored me, but Amberlynn did. We don't have a reason to trust her either, Emily. But of the two of them, Amberlynn is the proven, known liar. But I don't know a lot about Emily. Maybe she is a proven liar too. I don't know. But I know for a fact that Amberlynn is. So hopefully someone found beautiful, sweet Rarity and gave her a good home, because that's sad to me. And there seems to be a rumor that Amberlynn has a new kitten, and that's troubling to me. Please tell me that isn't true. I can't. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter. So really, I didn't really deliver any kind of, groundbreaking information. I guess a real opinion, I guess. Like I said, I don't want to believe that Amberlynn would purposely do something to harm one of her pets. But, we've seen it in the past. So at the same time, there's a lot of evidence that, speaks against Amberlynn when it comes to her pets. There is. So that's it for this video. I will talk to everyone later. Thank you so much for visiting with me and watching. And, yeah, again, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.